Right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got another one of these fun logic riddles for you. So today it's going to be the old classic, travelling through the wilderness, you find yourself in a locked chamber, unescapable. You've got lions chasing you from this side. On this side, you've got two identical doors, right, guarded by two identical-looking guards. And basically, one of the doors will lead you to certain death. Painful death in a snake pit. And the other door will lead you to an infinite lifetime supply of lean parents. All right, but you don't know which one's which. So in advance of arriving in this chamber on your adventures, right, you discovered that one of the guards is conditioned to always tell the truth, and the other guard is conditioned to always tell lies. Right. Now, as I was saying, you can't tell them apart, you don't know which one's which. Now, the only thing you need to work out is which door what you go through, right? Each guard knows the solution to the problem. They know which door will lead you to life and which door will lead you to death, right? Whether it's the one that lies or the one that tells the truth, they do actually know the answer, right? So if you speak to the one that tells the truth and ask them, which door should I go through to live, they will tell you the truth, and vice versa. The final rule for the riddle is you're only allowed to ask one question to one guard. So the rules are as follows. You're in an impenetrable room, two doors, one leads to death, one leads to fortune. There's two guards, can't tell them apart. One of the guards will only ever lie. One of the guards will only ever tell the truth. And you're only allowed to ask one question to one of the guards. That's it. That's the whole riddle. One more time. Impenetrable room, two doors. One door will lead to fortune, the other will lead to death. Two guards you cannot tell apart. However, one of the guards, you don't know which one, is conditioned to always lie, and one, again, you don't know which one, is conditioned to always tell the truth. And you're only allowed to ask them one question, not one question each, but one question in total. What do you ask one of the guards what question do you ask in order to figure out which way you get at? So there is obviously a solution, which you probably know. It's a pretty well-known riddle, to be honest. But hey ho, just in case you don't, here's the solution, right? So what you do is, again, you don't know which one's which, and you want to get that lifetime supply of lean parent sauce, right? So what you want to do is you ask one of the guards, which door would the other guard say I ought to go through if I want to live? Which door would the other guard say I should go through if I want to live? And whatever answer they give, go through the opposite door, right? And obviously that makes sense because let's say, for the sake of argument, that the guard in the yellow uniform here, he's the one that lies, right? Let's say he's the one, he can only ever tell lies, right? Let's say you ask him, which door would the other guard say I should go through to live? He's going to tell you a lie. So let's say, for the sake of argument, that door, let's say A and B, right? Let's say that door A is a good door that will lead you to lean parents and fortune, and door B will lead you to death. Let's say we know that, we just established that, right? For the sake of argument, if you ask the guy that lies, he knows that A is the correct door, and he knows that if you ask the guy that tells the truth, that they would tell you that A is the correct door. So he tells a lie about what he would say, and he says the other guy would say go through door B, right? So, but remember, you have to say the opposite of whatever they say. So let's say you happen to pick one at random. You don't know which one's which. You don't know which one's which. But we, for the sake of argument, know this is the life and this is the death. All right. So you pick guard yellow by pure chance, right? Happens to be the one that lies in this scenario, right? You say, what door would the other guy say I should go through if I want to live? He tells a lie, knowing that the other guy would in fact say A, because he tells the truth, and they both know that A is a good one. So he tells a lie and he says that the other guy would say B. and then you do the opposite of what he said the other guy would say. So in this case, the opposite of what he said the other guy would say is A, which is the right door. And then you say, well, what about if you get the other one though? How does it work both ways? So it works the other way, because if you ask the guard that always tells truth to tell you which one the other guard would tell you go through if you want to live, he tells you the truth about the lie that he would tell you. And then you do the opposite anyway. So he tells the truth. You say, what door would the other guard tell me to go through? And he says, the other guard would tell you to go through B. Because if you ask the other guard, what door should I go through if I want to live? They would tell you a lie and tell you it's B. So you ask the guard, you happen to pick the one that tells the truth by chance. You say, which door should I go through if I want to live? This guard tells you, sorry, you don't say that. You say, which door would the other guard tell me to go through if I asked him what door should I go through if I want to live? And this guy tells you the other guy would tell you that it's B, which is what the other guy would tell you, but it's not the right answer. And then you do the opposite, what he said the other guy would say, which again is A. So if you ask this question, in both cases you get the correct answer, and in both cases you get the same answer, which is weird because you think the conditions say different things, but because of the weird indirect nature of the solution, you always get the same answer, which is kind of cool. Now, there's another version of this which is a bit more counterintuitive and not as fun, but maybe a little bit more interesting. I don't know. Hope you enjoyed the video. Meow bamboo.